Avi Meyers, Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine, a presentation of Sonny Hirsch and myself. Check us on the web, ntnm.org. Everything's on YouTube. Jewish Chicago is coming out with the very full judicial review, more so than we've ever put out before. We're going to be all over the place, throughout the city, throughout the suburbs, and the northern suburbs. I mean, thank God people have really taken to the paper over the years. We'll be out for free right before early voting. And make sure you pick up a copy. And if there's a location near you that for whatever reason ran out of copies or doesn't carry it, let us know and we'll be more than happy to stock them. I want to introduce you to, we've never actually had somebody from the 12th Sub-Circuit before. And this is a person who comes highly recommended by Michael Strom, who I think very, very highly of. And that is Judge Andrea Schleifer. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you very much for having me.
My pleasure. Why don't you tell us something about yourself?
Well, I'm from New Jersey, came here after college, and was a caseworker. And after a few years of being a caseworker, I thought I needed to do something else. So I decided what I really wanted to do was be more effective. Went to law school at Knights, and I'm one of the very few people who is on the bench who didn't have a job with the state's attorney, the public defender, or government as a lawyer.
Wow.
I've been in private practice until I got on the bench. And so for over 30 years, I was representing individuals, children, some small companies, just being in the trenches on the other side. And got very involved in a lot of family law issues, did a lot of legislation working with Julie Hamos.
She was my favorite state legislature when she was in the state legislature.
She's a phenomenal, phenomenal woman.
Agreed.
And in fact, she just appointed me to the Child Support Advisory Commission for the state.
Oh, very nice.
And we co-drafted the Parentage Act of 1984, which had to be enacted because the old Paternity Act was found not to be constitutional because it treated children that were born outside of a marriage differently than children that were born inside a marriage.
Interesting.
And now I'm in a court where all the people who come in front of me have children and have never been married.
Wow.
So I'm really implementing one of the laws that I helped draft.
That's poetic justice.
And it's like, oh my goodness, did we see the ramifications of this?
Wow. So what courthouse are you working out of?
I'm working out of the Daly Center.
Ah, that's a nice place to be.
Much of it is. They're still treating children of never married parents a little bit differently. We've got very, very small quarters there. But I expect with Judge Dickler now in charge of the Domestic Relations Division that will be changed. She's another wonderful, wonderful woman. So I did a lot of legislation. I was very active in bar associations. I'm one of those that was president of the Decalogue Society.
Very nice.
And I was the governor of the Illinois State Bar Association.
Wow.
And have been very committed to improving the profession and improving the delivery of legal services to people, especially those who have little access to legal services. I was a volunteer with Chicago Volunteer Legal Services for many, many years and then became a member of their board. And so I really think that I know what it's like to have a good judge and have a bad judge. And I think I know
30 years of experience on the bench, that's pretty impressive. And you know, it's interesting because it sounds like you're exactly in the right area that you've worked in, that you trained for, and even helped legislation for.
Right. Well, I did do a lot of work in various areas of law,
Yeah.
and I appeared in virtually every kind of courtroom. I did adoptions, I did small claims, I did evictions, but I basically represented individuals and families. So being where I am now feels very comfortable.
No, it's good. It sounds like a great fit. Speaking of areas, what is the actual boundaries of the 12th District?
Well,
and I know
thank you to the legislature, and I won't mention names. It's very
Gerrymandered like everything else?
pretty much, and they haven't redrawn the district since 1990 when they went into effect.
Oh, wow.
So in spite of shifts, nothing has changed, which is to my advantage because I'm running as a Democrat in what was drawn to be a Republican district.
Interesting, but the area's changed.
The area has changed. It includes a little bit of Wilmette, and then Winnetka, Glencoe, Northbrook, most of Glenview, Northfield, and goes across the river.
Yeah.
Got Des Plaines, Mount Prospect, Prospect Heights, Arlington Heights, a little bit of Rolling Meadows, and even Elk Grove.
Wow, you know, the show actually airs in almost every single city you mentioned.
Oh, fabulous.
So it's a tailor-made district for the show, which is good. So anyway, you're besides for being on the show, and we've only got about a minute left, so I got to be careful with time. I mean, you really talked about a lot of good stuff. I'm sure you're making the rounds everywhere?
I'm trying to make the rounds everywhere. If anybody knows some place I should be, please give us a call.
And if people want to contact you, what is your website?
My website is www.electjudgeschleifer. That's hard, but it's just like Schneider, but with an L and an F. SCHLEI, F like Frank, ER.org.
Very good. And the name will be on the bottom of the screen, or was on the bottom of the screen. So anyway, so once again, electjudgeandreaschleifer.org?
Correct. Well, it's Elect Judge Schleifer.
electjudgeschleifer.org. We want to thank you very much, Judge Andrea Schleifer. We want to wish you a lot of luck. If I lived in the 12th District, I'm sure I'd be voting for you. I'd like to thank Sonny Hirsch. I'd like to thank my entire technical crew. Thank all of you for joining us, everybody. Have a good one. Be well. Take care. Bye-bye.